My channel. If you've seen my channel, know my channel, you know full well that, well, not full well, but anyways, if you've seen my channel, been with my channel for quite some time, I should put in this up there too. You should know that I made a resolution earlier this year that once a week, every week, I would essentially do at least a live stream, just for for the purpose of keeping the posterity of the unscripted aspect of things more than anything else, as well as the unfiltered and unedited stuff as well too. Today, just gonna talk about and usually with my lives that I do, it's related to general stuff, for the week, for the for the past week, for the day basically. Today, I'm just gonna talk about a few things basically. So I'm here in California, and I will say this: I'm in Southern California. Being from New York, recently, staying here in California, it was kind of odd. Um, they were talking about the Hurricane Hillary. Then it was a tropical storm Hillary, basically, and everyone was freaking out. Everyone was overhyping it. The news was overhyping it. Basically, it became overhyped to the point where here in Orange County, it wasn't as it was anticipated. Quite honestly, it was more of little floodings here and there, but there were no winds, there was nothing. I mean, there were winds that were negligible. Put it that way. I mean, it wasn't a case where anything, people were flooded out or whatever maybe, or power lines were going off or whatever maybe in that situation. It was a case where things moved on. Things were good. There were no casualties. None of that I'm aware of, anyways. That I'm aware of course. It's only Monday right now, the 21st. But I haven't heard any casualties here in Orange County. LA area might be a different story. Like Long Beach, yeah, there was a lot of flooding there, a lot of flooding in the LA area basically, but not as much as you would anticipate. I know businesses were seriously tremendously damaged or anything like that from what I was seeing basically. But I mean, the inner parts of California, or towards the eastern end of California, Southern California, they might have been hit the hardest. And of course, there's going to be more flooding, a lot more rain. But honestly, 2 to 3 inches of rain, that's nothing. So for me, when I was looking at this stuff, I'm like, this is just rain. I'm like, I don't understand when people are talking about why are people freaking out about this. This is why they're overhyping it. It was literally just rain. And to be honest, seeing all these Californians, I mean, they were mellowed out. They weren't doing anything. I didn't see them freaking out, going crazy and buying, or going, not buying, but basically trying to overstock for the weekend or whatever. Maybe if it was a hurricane, loss of power, whatever it may be at that point. Honestly, the food, bread was still there. There was so much bread, so much milk, so much whatever it is at that point. It didn't seem like anyone was freaking out. Especially at Long Beach. At Huntington Beach, I was seeing all these surfers out there, even though it was recommended not for them to be there. They were there, pretty much just surfing, and I'm kind of sounds about right. The way Californians are, mellow attitude and such. Bring it on or whatever it may be. Honestly, I don't know. For as in New York, I was this is nothing. I don't understand why they're going crazy on this. And it was more of the news overhyping. I think the news needed some better ratings, because I think there's the whole aspect of the exhaustion part of the Trump indictments and stuff. I think it's more of a case where now it's just too much at this point that people are just getting it's I don't really care at this point. I mean, we know he's being indicted, etc., whatever it may be. It's just it's just exhaustion at that point, for that part of the news. So the news has to overhype it with other stuff, and one of the things is this thing. But with the so-called hurricane from a Category 4 to a Category 1, honestly, it was more Mexico that I think was hit harder. Basically, I was kind of curious to see if anyone that went to that Cabo area or Puerto Vallarta, how they are. Basically, I don't know anyone that's there. Been to Cabo, have never been to Puerto Vallarta. Would love to go there one day and just check it out, just to see how it is. But honestly, I haven't heard anything about that. So. Honestly, I mean, like, if I were to show you, yeah, I could show you what it looks like, basically. Give me 1 second. You see, that's pretty much your rain right there. That's the rain. I mean, honestly, there's pretty much nothing there. I mean, I don't know if you can see anything out there, but there's no rain. So in reality, I don't know what to say. I mean, honestly, it was like very little rain. Um, Now, on the front of the Mets, or sports in general, let's talk about sports a little bit. On the front of the Mets, and specifically baseball Met, the New York Mets. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, like, it's a lost season. Even though mathematically they're not eliminated, but realistically speaking, well, actually no, they are mathematically eliminated. They are mathematically eliminated. But realistically speaking, for them to make it is like very, very small percentage. Similarly, the Yankees as well too. There's like a 1% chance of them winning. Of course, they lost 8 straight. For them to even have a shot at the playoffs, they'd have to literally win every game from here on out. Similar with the Mets, have to win every game from here on out just to make the wild card playoffs, and we know that's not happening. So I wouldn't even bother. The Dodgers doing really well, of course. Yeah, so in that situation, we'll see what happens there. Now, one of the things I am going to focus on a little bit now is it's the start of football season. So, like, the sorry, so when I'm walking, I was just kind of looking and see who's there. But as far as the preseason right now, I don't think it's a big thing per se. Of course, because it's preseason, no one cares. But the fact is, the Giants are going against the Jets next game, and they're going to be playing. And Aaron Rodgers is going to snap the ball for the first time in 5 years in preseason. I mean, this is a guy that's kind of earned the honors of, or earned the respect of not needing to like go and play in preseason. Why injure yourself in preseason when you know you're that good? You have that caliber, similar like to Tom Brady and such. So the real question is like, what will happen? I don't know. Look for the Giants basically to blitz away, basically because the Giants need some players to work out in that situation to improve their defense. But outside of that, I mean, it will be interesting to see how New York does, the New York Jets as well as the New York Giants do this season. Now, the Jets, they practically could have played the playoffs. I mean, Zach Wilson not being a great quarterback, but I think he can learn from, of course, this guy, Aaron Rodgers. Question is they have a lot of players in place now where their defense is really good. Their offense has been dramatically upgraded to the point where like they should be able to make the playoffs. But the question is, how far can they go? That will be interesting to see. You can't stop a stream, can you? Interesting. All right, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do something very quickly, but let me just go take care of something very quickly, and I'll be back very quickly. I'm kind of curious to see how I can. Oh shit! I've got to go actually. Unfortunately, I have to go. So with that, I have to leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, and of course.